Yeah, welcome to this wonderful podcast this morning. The problem of the Southeast are the lawmakers, are the leaders. The Speaker House of Rep, Uche Kalu, has come out to say, imagine him saying that Hope Zodima and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the right to evacuate people from north and bring to your own land, your own ancestral land. But one thing I want to remind the Deputy Speaker, as if forgotten about the Fulani conquest, how Usman Danfodio in disguise was taking lands, was conquering lands that belongs to different ancestral people. That is the average aim of a Fulani. Once the Fulani man reside in your domain, the mindset you having is to take over that particular territory from you. And the Deputy Speaker, Uche Kalu, he is from Abia State, is championing that. The bill in the House of Senate. What an arrant nonsense. I think it is time the Igbo leaders need to call a spade a spade. It is time the people in the Southeast need to come out and then speak against the injustice in the country. Why must it be that the remnants in the north should be sent back to the east? Is the east a dumping ground? Has the east become a dumping place for the petted Boko Haram and then Fulani bandits? It does not work that way. The same thing Mazi nnamdikanu was fighting for. You have seen this a very long time ago, that since we cannot live as one Nigeria, it is high time we should part ways. Let every region go their separate ways. But now today, they have tagged Mazi nnamdikanu as the enemy of the state. But people who are the real enemy of the state are working freely. People who are the real enemy of the state are those in the arrow chamber. People who are the real enemy of the state are the leaders, the senators. So tomorrow, if the president says he wants to send assassins to Southeast, that means the House of Assembly members would accept that, because they want to please President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank God for the youth in the Southeast that say they cannot condone such thing. I am so surprised that the Deputy Speaker House of Rep, Uche Kalu, is giving consent to it for people to migrate from their own ancestral land down to the southeast part of the country. To do what in southeast? To do what? The question is, what will they be doing in the southeast? The southeast itself has its own lot of problems. The southeast itself has its own lot of shares of the ups and downs of Nigerian economy quagmire. Why should the southeast always be seen as a target area? Why should the southeastern people be used as scapegoats whenever the federal government intends to bring out the bad policy? And we've seen governors in the southeast who have not come out to condemn that. And let's not forget that in every rumor, there's always an atom of truth. But we've seen the likes of the Igbo youth coming out to say they cannot tolerate that. Coming out to tell all people that enough is enough. And that which is true. You are the governor of the state, whether you swore on oath to protect the people, to protect lives and properties. But rather you are you are stabbing the people you are supposed to protect. Ever since this rumor of IDP camp relocation from the north to the east, no governor has come out publicly and openly to debunk it. No governor has come out to challenge the authorities. There be. We've seen that Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has actually allocated a land meant to build an open university in the state to give to IDP camp. People that claim to be repented Boko Haram. Do you know does the government know the impediment of what he's doing? The danger that lies ahead of what he's doing? Inviting criminals, thieves to your home, giving them the key to your home. That is what the danger of what the governor of Imo State is doing. And please, the people of Southeast should not relent. The people of Southeast, it is not time for you to stand your ground. It is not time for you to be vocal. The governor, Southeastern State does not belong to any of the governor. Their tenure will always come and go. Their tenure would always come and go, yes. Just like the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari came and he left office. But the question is, what legacy would you be remembered for? All the Southeastern governors who are the enemies of the state. Would you be remembered for good? Would you be remembered for evil? Because nowhere in the world I've seen that they will relocate people from IDP from a particular region to another region to settle down. Nobody does that. We are the monarchs in the southeastern part of the country, in the southeast. It is time for them to stand their ground. To me, it is a Fulani conquest in disguise. It is the actualization of the Fulani agenda to take over every nooks and crannies of the country, or to Islamize the country. Why would Fulani want to migrate from Sokoto, Yobe, Taraba, or Borno, wheresoever they tend to reside, and then migrate to another man's ancestral land? Tomorrow, they might claim ownership of that same land. Tomorrow, they will insist that the land in question belongs to them. But the question is, how long can the people keep silence? What surprised me the most is a governor took a land that belongs to people, a land in which they were supposed to build university, an open university. He want to give it out to the Fulani just to please his oga at the top, just to please his paybasters, just to please people that gave him the mandate. Later, you will say, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Are we truly one Nigeria? nnamdikanu is right for fighting for the injustice. nnamdikanu is right for him to stood his ground and said he will continue to campaign for his people. It shows he's a courageous leader. It shows he means well for his people. The elected ones who are supposed to come out and speak their mind and air their views and air their grievances against this proposed Fulani takeover of the southeastern part of their land. Everybody is keeping quiet. Everybody is afraid. Nobody is saying anything. when the youth resist that, you say the youth are taking laws into their hand. When the youth resist that move, you will send soldiers to invade their ancestral land. But the governor of Imo State, by findings, he hails from Olu Central District. Is there no land in Olu for him to give out? Does he not have his own fatherland? His own fatherland? His own land. He should give it to the APC government for them to build an IDP camp on it. Because I think in this part of the world, our leaders don't have visions and plans for the people. Rather, they are loyal to those people at the top. Or another Indigo that claims to be the spokesperson of the Indigo is not coming out to speak. To speak against the proposed takeover of the Southeast by the Fulani hegemonies. Everybody is just keeping quiet. Everybody is just keeping mum. But thank God for the lives of nnamdikanu and the youths in the Southeast region who have come out to say the government cannot take over their ancestral lands, and Fulani Conquest will never and will not take over their land. That is a very good move, and kudos and applause to them on that. We've seen the incarceration of nnamdikanu for over 4 to 5 years because he speaks the truth. And the government of Nigeria doesn't like people who would come and stand against their anti-human policies. When you take land today, a land that belongs to community, and then give it to the Fulani, tomorrow Fulani man will dominate over the land and claim that the land belongs to their forefather. And indirectly, Islam is heading towards the eastern part of the country. Sooner or later, they will tell everybody to start to accept Islam via their conquest. Now, this brings me back to the story of Kwara State. How the Fulani, how Usman Danfodo conquered Oyo State. Majority, the main dominants in Kwara State are Fulanis. People that migrated from one part of the country to settle in another part of the country now main claims that the lands in question, that the ancestral land in question belongs to them. It shows that the leaders in the Southeast are insensitive of what is coming. And let's not forget the reason why Ojukwu fought for the Civil War. It was because of the injustice that the Igbo man had been going through since the 60s. You've deprived them to have say in one Nigeria. You don't want them to have their own country, their own separate country called Biafra. When people speak, anyone that speaks from the Igbo tribe, the person will be what? Incarcerated. And the same thing, the same crime, the same allegation, treason that was leveled against nnamdikanu was the same thing, crime Sunday Igboho was fighting for. And it's still the same crime Meetiala leader Badejo, that one was even carrying gun, killing people. But the government today is free because he's a Fulani man. It every attack is always on the Igbo man. When there's a policy that will not favor the country, the targets are the Igbo people. For how long can we continue with this marginalization? And the people themselves knows they are not loved in the country. An average Igbo man knows he is not loved in Nigeria. So that is why you see that the biafra ideology has come to stay. Even to unborn baby, the ideology is there. And now, what is an ideology? Something you cannot erase, something you believe will work for you, something you are standing for. Look at the origin of the Biafra struggle from Ojukwu to Wazirike, now to nnamdikanu, and now Simon Ekpa is in far away Finland championing the cause. The people you deprived of for them to partake in your failed system. If you don't want them, let them go. Those who are proposing to bring the IDP camp to the southeast, what happens to their own land? The Senate President Akpabio, what happens to your own land? That is the question. What happens to Sambisa Forest? What happens to Sambisa Forest? Is Sambisa Forest is it now occupied? The question is, there is a motive behind all this. The Indians need to wake up. There's a reason, there's a rationale behind that. If there's no rationale, the government will not just wake up one day and say you want to relocate people from the north to a particular region. To do what? To do what in that region? To do what in that particular region? So I think at this point, the people need to rally around and let their voice be heard. Because if your voice is not heard, sooner or later they will start taking over the ancestral land your forefathers fought for, your forefathers gave to you via the APC propaganda. The president himself, President Tinubu, what happens to Lagos? He should bring them to Lagos. If that is his plan, he should bring them to Lagos so they can stay in Lagos. You cannot allow people, you cannot always brainwash people each time. The only set of people you can brainwash are the governors, but the people themselves have stood the ground themselves, saying they would retaliate. The deputy speaker, Uche Kalu, should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself by promoting this shenanigan. It is a shenanigan. It is a shenanigan. By promoting this shenanigan. Nobody does that. There are a lot of bills in the house that needs to be passed. But why did you bent on pushing for an IDP camp in your state? Is it because they compensated you with the Deputy Speaker House of Rep? So you think it is time to pay the Fulani back? But rather, the people are now wise. The people are now wise. Thank God for the invention of social media. Thank God for people can sit at the comfort of their house and access internet to know what is happening. Thank God for the people who have come out to resist that move from this Deputy Speaker and the incumbent governor of Imo State. I will leave you on this note. The governor himself is not worth being a governor to rule to govern a state, because he does not mean well for the state. Thank you. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse. Thank you for staying tuned to this podcast.